Hello, everyone. It's Allison and Willard, the Kilted Quilter. We are the owners of QuiltNCode in Western North Carolina, Yancey County, one of the hardest hit counties of Hurricane Helene. And these are our disaster lives where we're trying to get back into the swing. I haven't even had anything yet. It's like this every time. So we're trying to get back in the swing of things, and so we have like one more left, Saturday, right?
Right.
So we've been doing them every Wednesday night and Saturday morning just to sort of get back into the swing of things. Things will change in January, and we're going to be doing a live tonight and having a special breakfast something on Saturday morning, and we're going to take a break.
Breakfast something or other.
We're going to actually take a little vacation. In fact, this is a great time for me to tell you our holiday hours. And so we have decided that we will be taking off December 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th.
Then we would have Sunday off anyway.
Oh, 29th.
And so we're back on
back
the 30th.
On the 30th.
We're taking off the 31st and the 1st.
I'm sorry, but we're going to go and celebrate with families. This is so awesome. We have all of them coming. So my daughter and her fiance are coming up from Raleigh. Both my sons are already here. And then we have Kyla.
My daughter and her boyfriend from Newfoundland.
And Kyla's already here, so we have all of them. And so we have like big plans, at least for 5 days. We have big plans for 5 days to enjoy the mess out of our family. And so we'll either kill each other or we'll have a great time. It's going to be fantastic.
Both. I mean, sometimes killing each other is enjoyable too.
Well, true. I mean, like there will be a screaming match or two just because that's how the family rolls. And so anyway, tonight's episode is an experiment, both drink-wise, because we've sort of been doing a Thirsty Wednesday event. And so on Wednesday nights, we do a mixed cocktail type of drink. And then on Saturday mornings, we do some sort of disaster breakfast. And so what is the name of today's drink?
The Santa hat.
The Santa hat. That doesn't have anything to do with disaster.
No.
So we're moving out. Can you tell we're in the recovery phase? That's a good thing.
Hey, I'm already moving on to, Celtic fabric. So
right, he's already on to.
I'm in
March. He's not even wearing the Santa stuff today. Right. He's like ready to move into March. So, and so I don't have anything really sewing wise planned for you this evening. I've been working really hard on getting everybody else's stuff ready and out the door for Christmas. And I am super excited because most of my Christmas shopping is done. I can't say that for the last 25 years because my husband does all the Christmas shopping. I mean, I actually shop. I just put the stuff in the cart and said, here, honey, order this for me. But I actually did Christmas shopping this year. I mean, like, I haven't done that in years. So, hey,
When did this happen?
You ordered it the other night. Lainey's like, when did this happen? You hit go the other night.
Sue Ellen says hi.
Okay, hi Sue Ellen.
Ellen.
Sue Ellen, do you have your Christmas shopping done? I just want to know because my Christmas shopping is done. At least I think my husband hit go the other night. See, I don't hit the pay button because if I hit the pay button, then it becomes, did you spend money on something? Because the bank is asking me, and that type of thing. So I just let him spend all the money. I tell him what I want, and he takes care of it, and I don't have to worry about it. So anyway, so I don't have any sewing stuff to demonstrate today. What we are going to do after Willard makes our wonderful cocktail is I'm going to just show some stocking stuffers that all quilters need. And so we're just going to give you a few ideas if you have not bought your special quilter a something or other, or if you are a quilter on watching us, that you can say, oh yeah, I forgot to ask for that. And so we'll just show you a couple of our favorite things. All right, cool.
These are a few of our favorite things.
Right. Da, 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 da. Okay, make a cocktail because I'm ready.
You're ready. Well,
I'm ready.
All right, so the original Santa hat is simply Campari and an egg white in a shaker.
Okay.
And Campari is an Italian citrus bitter. And I went out looking and I was like, okay, well, one, it's expensive. It's in a bottle this big, but it's expensive. And two, what does it taste like? And it's typically meant as something that is mixed with something else, not just straight on its own. You have to be a real fan of Campari in order to want to drink this. So I found the less expensive, less bitter cousin, sister. Well, they're in the same family, but not from the same father. I'm not sure. This is called Aperol. It is a citrus bitter.
Now, have you had this before?
I have not had this before.
So this is the experiment.
This is definitely an experiment. Now, Kyla and I made very small versions, and it is definitely tasty. Kyla enjoyed it, but it's not going to be one of those that you go, ooh, this is really good.
Okay.
This is more for looks.
Okay.
And the other thing is that instead of egg white, because I didn't want to go out and get pasteurized egg white, we don't have eggs from
the chickens
directly
right now.
from the chicken at the moment.
It's too dark for the chickens right now.
And I've been told to eat better. So I have decided to experiment with what's called aquafaba. It is the liquor that comes off of chickpeas in a can. And it can be whipped up like a meringue, and even, like...
Now, you spilled earlier. You're not going to do that in here, are you?
No, I won't be spilling in here because I'll be doing it in the shaker instead.
Okay.
So this acts as egg white, and it did froth up really nicely. So let's get started here.
And it doesn't have a taste?
There's a little salt in there, which actually enhances the sweetness of the drink a little bit.
Okay.
I put a little honey in there just because there's no other sweetener in the drink.
And he knows I like it sweet.
And there's a slight vegetal aroma right at the beginning.
Okay.
But as you sit and watch it turn into the Santa hat, by the time it's made the Santa hat, that vegetable aroma is gone.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it like literally goes away in like a minute and a half. It was.
Okay.
I said what aquafaba is.
So after you drink the Santa, you don't care about the hat.
So, right, after you drink the Santa, you don't care about the hat, is what Lanny is saying
Something
in the
like
background. And Grandma wants to know again what the aquafaba is. The aquafaba is the juice from the canned chickpeas. And we eat chickpeas constantly. Well, at least Lanny and I do. We eat chickpeas on everything, in everything. I love hummus. I love everything chickpea, but I also love everything beans, as you all know from last something or other, where I put I put beans and I put flaxseed and chia seed and I put all that healthy stuff in everything.
So this is the Aperol.
I think he likes your shirt.
My shirt?
Thank you.
Spilling.
Are you spilling on my table
No,
again?
I did not spill on the table.
Didn't say you were spilling on the table.
See, we've got the
Narc.
we've got Lanny in the background that's like, he's spilling. I think we're getting new mics for Christmas so that when we do these lives, all that stuff that's happening off in the background that I have to keep repeating for you guys, you'll be able to hear. So, right? You'll get to hear all of it. I want to smell the Aperol.
That was half of a jigger of Aperol, half a
jigger
like
anything.
This is peach brandy. I decided that the peach brandy would be a good idea because if it's citrus, then it's sort of like a fuzzy navel. And fuzzy navels are good. So, yeah, that one's good.
No, that one's got a nice smell. That doesn't smell like anything.
A smell.
Is it even alcoholic?
It's... And the reason the vodka is going in is because it's not that alcoholic. So
see, it's not even alcoholic. I'm not quite sure why we're putting this in here.
She heard chicken feet instead of chickpeas. She says that's better.
Chicken, yeah. Oh,
see, it's a good thing we
oh, there you go. So it's the juice from the chickpeas.
Well,
I put chicken feet.
We haven't
not
tried
on everything.
We have not tried to
do chicken
get juice
feet?
out of chicken feet.
Oh, yeah.
we hope the chickens kind of like fade off into the sunset.
Yeah, see, so Lanny is saying that we hope that chickens, sort of fade off into the sunset, and that's because we struggle with taking care of a chicken after, it's stopped laying eggs. So we become a retirement facility. And so Yeah, I mean, like, you don't want to eat them because they're old at that point in time, so they're not going to taste very good. And okay, we will not use the feet of a chicken, Sue Ellen.
So I'm going to shake the mess out of this one because
You're trying to
I
get
want
the
to make
hat.
sure we get nice foam.
You want to get the hat. I probably would have. Mom's like, I'm glad I said something because everybody would have thought we used chicken feet around here. We're not that country. I mean, we're pretty country, but we're not that country. We actually grew up in the city. You're getting stuff all over my stuff.
And you closed all the bottles, and he's got to make another one.
So it's a small one,
Okay.
and as you can see, it's starting to Santa hat.
So I wait for it to Santa hat, or do I let it go?
You're welcome to try now if you'd like.
All right. Here we go. The Santa hat.
Did you put your cranberry juice in it?
Not yet.
Hey,
It's not bad.
right? It's actually pretty good.
Now, one of the things
Now, what's with the cranberry juice? Where is it?
that I want to experiment with
Oh.
to see whether or not I can make it darker and maybe slightly tastier.
Sweeter?
It's
So
like Santa's cheeks.
I'm not really. It's actually pretty good.
It's not
No,
interesting.
wait a minute. Right. Okay, so my husband's off in the gallery saying it's not interesting. You see, we have words around the place that, you know, my mother will come in with a concoction of something, or she will have bought something at something, and she'll say, "Here, try this. It's interesting." Do not try it. Interesting is not good.
See, you have hit on something that is, when you try something that's not very good,
Uh-huh.
you need to share that experience with others so that they, one, can know your pain, and two, you can tell who your real friends are.
Here, I thought it was the inability of their household to throw anything away.
See, okay, and so my husband is saying he thought it was just the inability of my parents' household to throw anything away.
Well, you're just almost as bad. You got better though.
And Mom's in the background going, "You're just as bad." So she's probably right. I mean, like, tonight is leftover night, and even this morning when I was like, no, today is leftover. Whatever's in that refrigerator is leaving this refrigerator, and so my husband pulls out the soup, and he goes, "So when did we eat this?" And I was like, "I don't know, it's good. It'll be all right." And it was very good. I
Right.
think it was just a few days old.
So mine's going to be a little larger than yours
Okay.
because
I want to taste yours, though.
right.
Would
Because
you like
I
a
know
taste?
orange and cranberry are very good,
Some in the other room.
and cranberry vodka is sort of my go-to. I just want to have something
That's
nice
better, but
tonight.
it's still-
Mom doesn't like it. I like it.
It's not even interesting.
Mom says it's not. Mom said it's not even interesting. I
We're going to
like
get
it.
sued by an Italian company.
Right?
It's got something.
Yeah, you can't say anything bad about anything anymore. You'll get sued.
Trying not to put things where they'll fall over.
Yeah, even if it's true. I don't know what truth is anymore. You can shake it. Like, you can really shake it. Like, you want the froth too. I want to taste yours and see if it's any sweeter. I like this, though.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that I get a darker color.
Yeah, because it's almost
It-
like a...
It's more an elf hat.
Yeah, it's more definitely an elf hat. Oh, look, Lainey brought us some.
There you go.
I'm going to have to get him a quilt. No, I'm going to have to make him a QuiltNCode apron. I wore my apron on Saturday. So yours is just pinker. Mine is peacher.
We'll give it a second to
Okay.
settle.
Okay.
And
Well, I guess it is a little bit.
Hat's got to rise to the head.
yeah,
It's a bit redder.
bit redder.
Definitely more than mine.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone from peach to pink grapefruit.
Actually, it's cranberry.
There's a.
It looks like pink
It's
grapefruit.
definitely a a very classic, like Norse Santa versus the red American Santa.
That's
We're
okay. Mine is a Florida Santa.
a Dixonian.
It's the colorized version of a black and white film.
Right. There you go. What do you think?
That was not a raving approval.
Like mine better.
So there you go. The Santa hat. It's
Happy holidays.
It's still very good. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. All right, so let us give you some last minute possibilities for Christmas. I mean, it is only the 17th.
Well, next
18th.
Wednesday.
It is the 18th.
Right.
There's
We are
still,
literally 1 week. Well, we're less than a week away.
so there's still time. You could make a.
You won't be able to buy anything 7 days from now. So.
You won't be able to buy it, but you can make it Christmas.
You know, remember the story in our family is that, you know, I would give my kids stuff I was going to make them. Or I would give them beautiful fabric for things I thought they could make because I had not gotten it done in time. I mean, my kids loved it because then they knew they got one-on-one mommy time to sew, or they knew it was coming.
Well,
and then they could watch the progress and
I still
stuff like
think that our family coat of arms should have was gonna as the family motto.
Was gonna.
Was gonna.
Was gonna. I mean, there's two phrases though I can't, or two words I can't. You just have to. God, I hate that term. You just have to. Allison, you just have to. I just have to what? Why can't you just have to? I don't understand why I have to just have to. So, and all you have to do. Really? All you have to, well, why don't you do it then if all you have to do is? So anyway, those are two phrases I just, So we have plenty of kits left for the Minky blankets. And the Minky blankets, you know, run from like this little guy is $48 up to this guy who includes, I mean, come on. He even includes this sweet little foxy stuffed animal. Mommy, why haven't you made this yet? Oh, it's because I haven't put it under the tree for my mother yet. Got it. I know what you're getting for Christmas.
It's because every time I sit down, you say, do this. Do
Right.
this.
See, I
She
just,
says you just have to.
yeah, you just have to do this, Mom. All you have to do is, super easy, Mom, here.
I'm out of this one.
So I might just have to wrap this up for me. Anyway, this is.
The other one is, can you do this?
Oh yeah, can you do this? Oh well, and I feel bad because I do feel bad because she helps me with the sewing group upstairs with the kids, and those kids like, well, I want to make gloves. I want to make this. I want to make. Okay, well. Let's see how we design that. I did have to tell a child today that she needed to actually draw a pattern out for me before she started cutting on fabric. Because I was like, I need to know that you have added seam allowances. And sure enough, we got through the pattern and we did have to make some difference. Anyway, okay, anywho.
Suddenly seam allowances.
That's when she brought in a sheet for Halloween.
Right. We had a student that brought in a sheet for Halloween and said, I want to be a Dementor from Harry Potter. And my mother made it happen in a 2-hour time span. Like, she's amazing. Okay, so what are some things that are awesome for your quilting friend or something you can tell your partner, spouse, whatever, to get you? Because you absolutely have to have this. And so I will start with things that fit perfectly in your stocking. For instance, you can never have enough friction pens or marking utensils. So that includes any type of chalk, like these wonderful like chalk guys right here are just there. I think it's called dressmaker's chalk. And these
Tailor's
are
chalk.
Tailor's chalk, dressmaker's chalk. And then you've got, oops, don't break. And then you've got marking pens, like we use friction pens with everything, but there's also, you know, pencils for chalk. And then I know some folks are reluctant to use these because of the cold factor, but remember that goes away with heat again. And then let's see what else. Okay, we've got these seem to be very, very popular. These are needle threaders. And so these particular needle threaders seem to be very, very popular
They're
in the shop.
designed very much like the old nickel
Right. But they're a bit
threader.
stronger.
They're very much stronger. And they have a little thread cutter on the back end.
Ah, yeah, there's a thread cutter right down there.
And there's a pair of them, and they only cost, what are they, like?
Oh, yeah, these are only $4. So $4.50. So those are really good. You can never, at least in our shop and at home, can never have enough seam rippers. And so maybe this is the time you get a good one. Like, you know, one that has a nice long handle. I will tell you, I am ripping something right now that is killing my hands because it's a very, very tiny stitches. And so switching over to the longer, fatter handle has been much, much better.
There's also a difference in the seam ripper, you know, the guide end that you push in. You've got fat ones and skinny ones. And we've got one over there from Clover with a very nice handle on it, very, very sharp, small point for doing tight stitches. If you're working on the Minky and you mess up because of the pile, it's kind of hard to get in there. So the small needle size one works really well.
And then let's see what else. A needle, my mother just swears by this set of thimbles. And so she...
Well, they're a combination,
it's a
thimble and needle puller, right?
Yes, so they're a rubber. And so you put one on your thumb and one on your finger. And so you're using, when you pull through, you have something to help grip the needle with. And my mom loves these. Mom, you use these on, what she does a lot of hand sewing when binding, yeah, it's mainly for binding, you know, when you're going through those thick things. And, you know, after a while, your fingers just get sweaty and sore. And so she loves these. I don't use them as much, but Mom swears by them. In fact, she's missing one right now, and I think I found it. But anyway, we'll talk later, Mom.
So these are a double curve scissor. These are my favorite. A lot of things in, well, just about every hobby, they try and give you unitaskers. You know, you've got thread scissors, and you've got applique scissors, and you've got pinking shears, and everything is there to just do one job. And these are applique scissors, but they're also the best thread scissors I've ever used, because I can get in, you know, especially in the embroidery machine, I can get in there, and because of the curve, it gets out of the way of the foot. And they're just wonderful. So they have a double curve. It curves one way this way, then comes back down, and right at the blade, the cutting surface, there's another curve. And a lot of these little guys have applique faces, and you stitch it down and then you have to cut it out. And the curve of this is so much better than that duckbill applique scissor to get in there and follow that line that's been stitched down.
Well, then why didn't you tell me about that 2 weeks ago?
Because you were yelling at me.
I was. He didn't do the job he was supposed to do. So I was having to do it. So yeah, you're right. I'll tell you something else about these scissors is that I was using them today a lot because I was turning them over and I was able to get into tight spaces. And so really they've got this really beautiful curve to get into, my wrist, to get into those curved places with that, ripping that stuff out. So
yeah, and the curve's not so drastic. Some of the double curves, they've got a really drastic sort of, you know, it's almost like a surgical instrument kind of curve.
It's almost like a 90-degree angle going into that.
And
these are kind of nice.
These are comfortable, and yeah, again, these are only $11. So
now, how did you find those?
I found those. I don't recall. I ordered them specifically for Kyla for this because I had seen something that said double curve scissors were the way to go versus the applique scissors.
And now
so I ordered one pair, and yeah,
they've become universal.
Yeah, they're one of our best and most used pairs of scissors.
I mean, speaking of scissors too, We have, I mean, like these Karen Buckley scissors. I think these are like the best scissors in our shop. They have a.
You swear by them more than the
I do.
than the expensive.
Well, okay. So the
name
thing
brandy ones.
There's numerous reasons why. I can get them in different sizes, which you can get other scissors like Gingers and anybody, and they're light though. They're very light. And so especially I'm getting ready to order a whole bunch for the kids upstairs because I can get them in smaller sizes than this and they cut. But they also have the serrated edge almost. And so it's almost easier to cut out curves and stuff because of that serrated edge. It's not going anywhere. It's just, they're really, really nice. They come with a cap. I don't know why. So I can lose it. Lanny says, so you can lose it. And so, yes. So it comes with a cap. That's great. I do have the cap on. I'm pretty good about keeping the cap on that I have in my travel bag. I have a pair that's about that big in my travel bag.
The cap needs a hole so that you can attach a string to it.
Right. It does. Because, like, we're just terrible. All right. What's your next favorite tool? Yeah. Tell about that.
Yeah, sure.
This is his favorite tool.
Speaking of unitaskers, in the last few weeks we've been talking about the Stripology Mini and the Stripology Squared, which replaces many of your squared rulers. But there will be times that you might want these. And the best thing I found after 127 squares.
Took that long.
holding the squaring ruler, with my claw.
But even if you're like having to do, I don't know,
I found
multiple things.
This
I have not used
wonderful
this
little
on the Stripology to find
buddy.
out if it works.
It won't work because of the holes.
It won't work? Oh yeah, that's because it won't suction.
Pop that on there.
And she does not move. Like he goes to shows and he's like, see how I can't get this off. Yeah.
And this way, instead of the claw, I can just put 2 fingers down.
He can just put 2 fingers down.
And then pick it up and move it. And it's so much easier. And then it just pops right off. When when I use it, see how easy it is to put on there? But when I use it, I do use my whole wrist. But that helps me to relax my fingers a little bit. That way you can use the pad of your hand if necessary, rather than...
I have a tendency to do this, and then my fingers hurt when I'm squared or cutting.
Right.
And it's not going to move as much because you're putting your pressure on there.
And, I'll be 50 next month, so I know the arthritis is going to kick in. And...
Mom's like, you're that old?
Yeah, guess how old that makes you, Mom.
Oh, that was terrible.
Well, there's math involved, so you don't have to guess.
Right? No. Like, that was terrible. Oh!
But yeah, we have a friend who, has pretty bad arthritis, and she used this, and she said it was great. That it just, it took all of the pain out of squaring 127.
So we got,
and that one's called the gripper, the amazing little gripper from Gypsy Quilter.
I mean, I'll be honest, now that I've got the Stripologies and been used to using the Stripologies, I don't use the gripper as much as I used to, but it's a good thing to have around.
Especially if you've got a lot of these and you have no intention of investing $70 in a Stripology, you can invest $7 in the little gripper and save yourself the hassle. And even it gets your fingers out of the way. Your fingers can't slip into the cutting area when you're holding it.
Oh boy.
And we do not carry it.
Never gonna live it down.
There is a larger version for your larger rulers. If you find you need one, just come in and ask, and we'll order it for you.
Yeah, cool.
So
go ahead.
Let's go back. I realized that we had not said, okay, these, if you're going to the website to look them up, this is the Comfort Needle Puller. These are the Seam Rippers by Singer. Friction is with an X, so Frixion. And then our needle threader from Clover, and the double curved scissors are from Havel's Sewing. They're the 5-inch double curved scissors. You should be able to look them right up.
And then I didn't talk about the grab it. So there's a couple other things like you can always use. We were looking for pins upstairs just an hour ago. You can always use another grab it magnetic pin cushion, and we have them now in zebra and leopard and different colors.
They're
So you
listed
just
on the
let us-
website as assorted, but you can put a note in your order, or you can come in and
You just let us
rummage
know
through
we'll
and see what
figure
colors you
out
like.
what color is best for you. And then for quilters, you know, we always could use new sewing machine needles. I just thought about how in the spring or in January, we're going to try and get, we have plans to get back up into our actual studio. And I think I'm going to do some shorts on why the different numbers matter and what to, you know, how to know when it's time to change your needle, that type of thing. I mean, I know that they say after every project, you should change your needle. The problem is that we're always in the middle of 5 or 6 different projects. And so it's very hard to know to change or remember to change your needle.
I think the rule of thumb is if you can't remember changing the needle, change the needle.
Yeah, I mean, they're only $1 each. Like this set of needles is $4.19. Like, you're talking about $1 that could make everything so much easier. I'm just as bad on the long arm. I don't change my needle nearly as much on the long arm as I should. And so they're $1 a piece. Come on, guys, we can do this. And then you always need hand sewing needles. Us, because we lose them. But most other people, because, you know, they get bent, they get dull, just like sewing machine needles. And so, you know, this is just a nice little gift that the hubby can get you for Christmas.
Different sizes.
I mean, like, we have an assortment of all sorts. And you'd be surprised, just like sewing machine needles, there really are different needles for different purposes.
And speaking of hand sewing,
oh, yes.
we have the Thread Magic thread conditioner. If Kyla was here, they would be raving about this. This is probably the chief reason why Kyla can put a binding on a king size quilt in less than a day.
Oh, she does it in about 5 hours. They can put a binding on a king size quilt in about 5 or 6 hours.
Yep. And this,
They put their
swear by it.
headphones on.
They swear that the Thread Magic is why they can just
And so
get
what
going.
is Thread Magic? Thread Magic is a wax type of thing that allows you to, it keeps your thread from curling up, from knotting, from what, Mom?
Naughty.
From knotting,
Twisting.
from twisting, from, and so you're less likely to break threads. You're less likely to have to I am notorious for having, because I don't use Thread Magic like I should. Well, I usually quilt in my bed and the Thread Magic's at the shop. So, so, you know, it just really, that's how Kyla can whip out bindings for quilts. And so Thread Magic is a wonderful, wonderful stocking stuffer. And so is the purple thing. I am gonna,
PHANG.
yeah, I definitely need, this is a $3.80 tool that you will use for so many different things. I need to pull out and do a short on just this tool alone, because you can use this to get your when you're turning stuff, you can get your corners out. It has a thing in there for you to take and put elastic through. You can do ribbon with it. Oh my gosh, it's an amazing little doodad that perfect. You know, I need to do I bet you if I do a short, we'll be getting in business. So. So that is our section.
That's our notions pile.
That's our notions pile. I wanted to talk a little bit. Oh, and then sewing machines. I mean, we have them on sale here at the shop with a wonderful, wonderful deals on almost all of them.
Yeah, every one of the deals will end on the 31st.
Yep.
But depending on the model you're buying, you're saving thousands of dollars.
Right, like the you were going to talk about the M17. The M17 is the big daddy of the Genomes.
Is there a better car than Cadillac? I mean, it is
Right?
It's Will beyond Buick. Yeah, it's the
Well,
Ferrari.
I mean, I guess you could
of,
say it was the DeLorean or the
right,
Lexus
yeah,
or the.
no, not a Lexus. I mean,
Not
it's beyond
Lexus?
Lexus. Yeah, DeLorean is more in the
What
We're
about,
looking
you know,
at-
like, yeah, okay. So,
Yeah,
anyway, it has a immense, it's got the largest throat space for embroidery.
Yeah, well, no, it's the largest working area on the
Uh-huh.
market. It's not the largest hoop because the maker with the largest hoop doesn't. You can't get within a couple of inches of the hoop when you're actually
Right.
embroidering. This has not the largest hoop, but the working space within our largest hoop is larger than their actual working space. So the M7, the Continental M17 can boast the largest embroidery, the single space or working space on the market. What is it, 1,600 stitches per minute?
Oh, it's incredible.
1,200
Quiet.
embroidery designs. Yeah, it's like 1,600 stitches a minute. It's amazing. More stitches than you can throw a stick at. It has the accurate stitch regulator so that you can do
For quilting.
right. You can do
Yep.
a free motion quilting, and you don't have to worry about the pedal. The machine actually registers when you move the fabric and begin stitching, so all your stitches will be the same length.
I'll admit
You-
that takes a little bit of practice, but free motion quilting in general takes
I
practice.
mean, you even get a $500 embroidery program to make your own embroidery designs,
Right.
free with the device. I mean, it is.
And for the special, okay, so then you're also getting, like with this, you're also getting the bag to go with it so that you can carry it around, ha ha ha. And
It's
and
only about
threads.
It's
Like-
big.
Okay, so wait a minute. It's a $1,500 worth of choice accessories, and you can choose from the cases, the embroidery design kits, the other cases, thread cadet, you know, I mean, like so much more. And then that price is like, okay, so it normally is $20,000, and they're currently offering it for $12,900. Like,
Yeah.
in store only.
Yeah,
You'll have
in
to
store
come in
only,
and see
and
us. And we don't actually have it,
well, we
but we will get it for you.
right, and it really is the last machine you will ever need because it does everything.
And we're going to get it one of these days. It's going to happen.
It's wonderful.
It's going to happen. Because
we were
we're going to
trained
get some
on
of
it,
those grants, you
and,
know, that we've applied for the disaster relief. And
right.
we had all this, anyway.
It's sort of like going to you're going to a car dealership to be a car dealer, and they say, here, let's drive around the Ferrari and learn how to sell the Ferrari. Now here are the Kias. No, give me the Ferrari back.
Right.
It was a wonderful machine.
We sewed on it for an entire week, and Will was just like, wow.
You
Wow.
know, before I walked in there, I was like, why would anybody need to spend this kind of? Oh, that's why.
It was hilarious. But anyway, all the sewing machines are on sale as well, so come in and see us. And
Yep.
then, let's see. Okay, so coming in this, we have new things happening in January. And one of those is that for winter hours, we've decided that we're going to close on Mondays. And so we will be closed Sundays and Mondays. Saturdays, we will still be open from 10 to 2. But for the dark time in the spring, we are going to take Mondays off and enjoy some time off with the family. We don't normally do that. And we will see in March, April, how we will change our hours. But to make up for that, you all, we are going to stay open late on Tuesday evenings. And so we normally stay late on Tuesday evenings, and in Monday and January and February, it will be very essential for us to stay late on Tuesdays. We'll probably be staying late, unfortunately, many nights, because our robotics teams will be getting ready to compete. And so we want to make sure that they're ready, and so we usually do that in the evenings. And so Will has graciously offered to stay open on Tuesday nights.
I mean, you
And
can
so-
call it that, but you have the key to the chain and
So
won't let me go.
I told Will, if I have to be here, you have to be here. So you're going to open the shop, especially if you're going to make me close on Mondays. And so, so he will be here on Tuesday. I will be here too, but I'll probably be upstairs playing with children. And children, they're not children anymore. They're gentlemen. So, very sweet youth. I'm very blessed that these kids want to spend time with us adults. And I just have a blast. So, anyway, so Will stay open late on Tuesdays to make up for the fact that we are not going to be open on Mondays through the first part of the year. And then other things that are coming, I will be getting back up into my sewing room and my studio so that I can bring out some more videos. Kyla's joining us to do long arming, so that will give me some more time upstairs. We have got some delightful new books. Okay, so.
We'll show this off on Saturday.
Right. Okay, so we're going to show off a few books. Okay, and so this is the sewing scrap blocks. And so I've gotten big into paper piecing. You all know that. And so this has all sorts of little itty bitty projects to do. And so this is just, you know, if you're gonna just want to dip your hand into some paper piecing, this is the way to go. Look at that little guy right there. I mean, it's so much fun. And she not only does paper piecing, and there's like a whole section on cats, by the way. Like, it's called the Feline Friends chapter. And so it has a ton of little kitty cat. Look at that. I'm just dying to do this. And so I am going to do.
Oh, we're going to have to
and we just got it today, but I have been looking at this for a while. So we're going to have to do like.
We'll have to do an entire series on them called, Feline Frisky.
Feline Frisky. There you go. So I'm gonna have to do a few of these, but not only in this book does she have paper piecing, but she talks about reverse applique. And so I've done a little bit of reverse applique with you guys, but yeah, it's coming. So this book right here it takes two, and it is a ton of little projects that you guys can do with fat quarters. And so it's got a whole bunch of wonderful little bags, little stuffed animals, cozies, you know, that type of thing that take just 2 fat quarters a piece. And so these are perfect things that you could do with a grandchild or something to give away.
Or maybe even get done by next Wednesday.
Or wonderful projects to get done by next Wednesday. And so in the spring, I will be doing, we wanted to in the fall do a Sassafras Lane Designs show, where a trunk show. And so we now have numerous projects that we have created from Sassafras. But this particular sweet book is all applique. You can make pillows like they have on the back here, or you can do the gorgeous quilt here. And so I will be doing some applique classes and teaching stripology. Applique. Woo!
And that's Zootropolis, and
that's
it has what, 32
different designs. And
yeah, it says if you put the whole quilt together, it's 66 by 80.
And they have another one. So this is just Zootropolis. The other one is Zootropolis 2. And so I'm working on getting Zootropolis 2 into the shop, but I got to make a few of these.
So you could make a king-size quilt for your kid who has a king-size bed? Oh.
I don't have a kid with a king-size bed.
Oh.
We don't have a king-size bed.
We don't have a king-size bed. Anyway, we were watching a show the other night, and they had a king-size bed, and I was like, so I would do this, honey. Good night. I was like, that's never going to happen with us because I get too cold.
Yeah, I have a king-size
might
bed,
as well
and if
just have
anybody
a
was in there,
twin.
I'd still roll over and kick them off.
Right, we might as well have a twin. And he's got a king-size bed, and it's not big enough for him. And
Yeah.
it's not big enough for him. He has a California king, my mother's screaming back here.
And my feet still dangle off the edge.
And it's not big enough for him. Whereas me, I'm like, I have to go too far to get to you. So the other thing that I really, really, really wanted to start in the spring was wool. I have all of it set out, ready to hit go, but we got to pay the other bills first, and we didn't have any money for 2 months. And so this is coming, I promise you guys. I thought that by January we would be ready to invest in wool. And so this is coming, I swear it. We're hopefully going to get one of those grants. So talk to those the grant people and tell them that we deserve it. So
and also coming up in January, we have the two
shows.
shows, one in Pinehurst,
Yep,
and one in Statesville. Sanford.
Sanford
Sanford
and Statesville.
and Statesville. So if you are
Yep.
in the, what do they call it, the tri-state area, but there's like 1, 2, 3, the quad, Pentemple State area, come on into Statesville and check us out, or come on over to Sanford and check us out. We'll have the biggest, brightest booth
Ever.
ever.
We always have the biggest, brightest booth with tons and tons of backings. Y'all wouldn't believe the new backings we keep getting in. Oh my gosh. We're going to have the best backing selection of anybody there. Right? So, and we have been just cutting off yards of fabric to throw in there. So we're going to have good deals on our yard fabric because we have got so much. And we have to pay for all the fabric.
The more the better.
Right? We have to pay for all the fabric. So anything
come
else
on
have I
out.
missed?
Nope.
Yes.
Yes.
Gift
Oh,
cards.
right. Yeah. And
Don't forget, you can get gift cards. They fit perfectly in stockings.
if you are reluctant to say, you know what, my quilter would love this particular notion, you can just come to the counter and say, I want to get a gift card. And we will give you a gift card in their name, and you don't even have to, you can lose that gift card.
Yep.
And they can come in and say, I think my significant other got me a gift card. And I'll say, what's your name? And yes, you have. So come on in and get a gift card if you are, like I said, reluctant to make decisions for your quilter, or if you think you'll get into more trouble making decisions for your quilter than you would just saying, here, go have fun.
Go make
Right.
your decisions.
And those gift cards can handle, we can do those online too.
And they don't expire.
And they don't expire.
Yep.
So think about that as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for for sticking with us during this disaster season. It
Right.
has been a disaster season. I counted 72 trucks on Saturday morning on my way from home to here.
Is that a 5-mile
70
drive?
8-mile drive.
8 miles.
72 dump trucks.
An average of 8 trucks per mile.
Like crazy amount, and therefore it is taking us like twice the time to get in here in the morning. So we are not, and we don't, but we haven't accounted for that yet. So we are late every morning by about 5 minutes because, you know.
Hey, we've been really lucky. Everybody who
Right.
has not waited for us to get here has been very polite.
They,
Not waiting.
people are starting to come back in though. It's great.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
We've had people
Yeah.
sitting here when we get here.
And knock on wood, I'm about caught up with my long arming.
Right.
So
And then we'll have to get the long arming done for the shows because they're
right,
only
we
a
have
couple
a
of weeks
ton
away now.
of long arming to do for the shows. You're right, but that will get Kyla back into the groove of things, so that's good. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us and sticking through this crazy, crazy time that we have been experiencing. At least the helicopters now are gone. So
Oh, and this worked.
it did.
Look at the foam that's still hanging out there. The aquafaba, you don't need to worry about like going out and getting
Right.
pasteurized egg.
And then if you're worried about egg too, like salmonella and all
Right.
that other stuff, that works really good.
so yeah,
So
now I have to make meringues out of it.
And we're
I
not
saw
sponsored by any of
I
And
saw
we're
a
not
chocolate
sponsored by
mousse
any of this,
recipe.
right?
This is going to be fun.
Shannon, you need to look at us. We're not sponsored by you yet. So so thank you so much for joining us. We are putting the pieces back together, and they're gonna be just gorgeous once this town gets it back together. I think I mentioned it on another article came out that said that there was $500 million being spent on one road in North Carolina, and that road is about 3 miles from here. And so $500 million on 19W.
it washed away.
It washed away 6 miles of road. And so at least now everybody has power, everybody has heat, at least as long as the storms come through and we get all scared again. But the trucks are here. They're repairing the roads. Everybody's able to get in. Everybody's able to start moving back into normal life. And so we have ways to go, but we're putting those pieces back together.
If you live west of North Carolina, you will need to take some back roads to get here, but if you're coming down from the north, everything's good.
No.
40 is still closed
26 is open.
between us and Tennessee. So you can go 26 or you can go back roads. But 40 is still closed. And so that's a huge bummer, because then we also have semis coming through here. So
The last I heard, they were thinking they were going to open it right before, but that's where we're at, right before 2025.
right, okay, so they're hoping it's gonna open in the next couple weeks, so that's good.
There
so,
will still be construction because they've already decided they're going to raise that.
Well, that'll be
Yeah.
2 lanes. It'll only be 1 lane each way.
yeah.
For
So
that
it's gonna be crazy. We'll be taking back roads. So anyway, thank you so much for getting us through this. The other last thing I will leave you with is that we got more quilts in for donation. Those came from Washington State. And we also got quilts in from Alabama and pillowcases with those quilts. And so, I mean, like, y'all give me goosebumps. Y'all just give me goosebumps. And I feel like I'm so guilty because I'm taking all the credit. Oh, it's Allyson with the quilts and Allyson with the stuff. And it's like, yeah. And they're like, take pictures. And I'm like, but I didn't do any of it. But I thank you all for making me look good. So, and you don't know what it's done for this county. I mean, the quilts that are coming in now are going straight into Christmas gifts. And for people who've lost their homes. And so, which is a lot. My mother is tearing down the lighting, which means it's time to go. So,
I caught it.
so she caught it in her lap. So we will leave you with thank you so much for holding us together during this time. And we are putting those pieces together. And anything else?
Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa.
Yeah. Happy holidays.